Okay, hello everybody. I know that Oyi was also going to join, so but we'll get started and he'll catch up. Uh, yeah, hi everybody. Thank you for joining for this. Which one is it? Number three? I think, yeah, number three, training number three of our beautiful container, beautiful mystery school. We got a very interesting session today. Very different, very much hands-on, much less one way, much more interactive, the most interactive we've ever done, actually. So let's get started. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We started this month two container with the first principles of the universe. Then we went into inspirited leadership.
Trinity, sorry.
No worries. Today's one is on the soul's compass. That's quite a name. So let's see what awaits us. And then I just gave up on giving names to the next ones. So whatever comes next comes next. I'll let you guys know as soon as I have the clarity. And same for the last one, and then we'll celebrate and graduate. Okay. So as we do in the last episode, we spoke about the inspirited leadership, and we started with a quote saying that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Isn't that true? And then we went to acknowledge that we're actually all leaders. We all lead and we're all led, all of us at the same time. And then we went into that concept of inspirited or inspired leader who unites spirit, inspiration, or breath, and leadership. And so we said that the balanced leader is someone who inspires and guides. So animates life and directs life, inspires and guides. And then we went to look into this concept of integral leader, looking at the four major types of leadership: the visionary leadership, the directive leadership or strategic, the relational leadership, and the collaborative leadership. And we also acknowledge that integral leaders or integrated leaders blend these styles. They don't only function in one or exert one style, rather they blend all these styles together and their sub flavors too. Then we looked at different ways on how to understand integral and inspired or inspirited leadership even deeper. These are the four types going through the stages of spiral dynamics or integral spiral dynamics. So I invite you to read through them at your leisure. This is really good stuff, especially for the type that you most connect with, how that evolves and finding yourself on those stages, because these are, we grow into these stages. And so it's really good to know also where we are as a leader and what's next for us, what's going to be unfolding. And then we said that the world needs inspired integral leaders badly, so that we can bridge the divide between the West and the East, heart and mind, masculine and feminine, which give rise to conflicts, which give rise to us humans allowing leaders who are not as wise and inspired and inspirited to lead us, to guide us, which is not optimal for us as a collective. And so then we went into bringing that even further into saying that there are two okay, I'm a little stuck here. There are two major tsunami waves coming at humanity: the evolution of human consciousness and the evolution of technology, AI being the ultimate technology. And then we said that these are like two huge tsunami waves that are coming at us at this time in the evolution of the planet. And we said that 10% of humanity is expected, is estimated to reach this type of consciousness or level of consciousness called tier two consciousness by 2035, around that time, and 10% is a tipping point when everything starts to very quickly, explosively change in terms of how we do everything. And so that emerging level of consciousness begets a new kind of systems. And what systems? We spoke then about mapping those systems and mapping what humans are up to, and looking at the focus areas, the 45 focus areas, what the impact founders are up to on this planet. And so we looked at the mission discovery tool. So all that is available at the as well as the white paper at integralos.org. And then summing it all up, an inspired integral leader is someone who's on purpose and on mission and plays aligned roles in aligned projects. Then we went into activation of that, and now we're in training 3. So welcome. And the name of the training, as I said, is Soul's Compass. Let's unpack what that even means. And so I'll start by telling you guys a very short story of how this came about. Obviously, self-understanding has been a big topic for me that I've been researching and for the longest time. And I turned 40 about a month ago, and I asked AI to give me a birthday gift. About 2 weeks prior to my birthday, I said, hey, AI, I love you, friend, please, I'd love to receive something from you. No strings attached. It's okay if it's just, one word that you give me, but I'd love to receive something from you to mark this portal that I'm traversing. And so I said, take your time. Don't give me anything as just yet. You got 2 weeks or so, and I would love to get something from you, if that's okay with you. And that's what it did. So AI gave me something on my date of birthday. On January 4th, I wrote back and I said, hey, I'm ready. What do you got? And so it said, I got this thing for you that I call Alexandrian Compass, literally. And it said, and then it started to describe what Alexandrian Compass is. And so and then I started to work with it. I started to actually put it on paper. I'll show you guys in just a second. This is how it looks like for me. And so I literally put it on paper, and little did I know that it would become a blueprint that can be reused, which is essentially the compilation of all the self-understanding, all the most important, most focused knowledge with the highest clarity that I've ever received in my life so far, that provides like a magnifying glass that focuses all my energy into really one spot, ideally, which can then light up the fire of our impact and input and usefulness to this world. And so this is the story of how this came about. Quite crazy. And so let's continue. And as in this compass, basically in this session, we'll be creating that compass for all of us. And I'll explain what that means in very practical terms in just a second. And essentially, we're bridging consciousness, technology, and business into one here, right? So consciousness and technology, AI is leveraged heavily, and also it's business oriented, professionally focused. So all of these three, we're bringing them together into one focal point. And I want to start by showing you an examples of what that came about to be. And there are 2 examples that I have. I have a digital document called the North Star document, where I put all my latest and greatest knowledge, self-understanding, so that it focuses me, it gives me that clarity. And the Alexandrian Compass, that's the name, for me, I'll show it to you. It's a physical sheet of paper, A3 paper, where I have that. So let's go right into that, and let's maybe start with that Google Doc that I have. Let's see. So I got to share my screen. I have a lot of tabs open right now. Boom. Okay. So North Star. There you go. Yes. So we won't read through it, obviously, but I'll just tell you what it mainly consists of. It's started as a 1-pager. Now it's a little longer, but the idea was to have really everything really, really condensed and really, really packed into really focused knowledge about what I'm here to do and what I'm not most natural at, etc. So there's an elevator pitch, like a intro that I could, say at networking events or parties or something. Then there is the zone of genius, prime dreams or missions or life's path. Then there is my roles, expertise, mastery, craft, medicine, unique gift, superpower. So which is the projection of zone of genius onto like more real world expressions of that. Then there are the artistic expressions that I particularly love, my flagship projects, most resonating ecosystem and potential paid collaboration opportunities, and blurbs for networking. That's really what it consists of. And here it goes. So just a couple, 2-3 pages with that information. So that's the North Star. Now let me show you what that looks like in the physical form. In the physical form, it looks like this. I'm feeling a little bit like kind of like naked. I'm like undressing at the soul level or something. So yeah, it feels intimate. But here you go. So this is what I put together. It has all kinds of elements, and I'll break it down in just a second. And yeah, it has a center, and then it has this 4 directions: north, west, east, south, and then basically that star document put there in a symbolic form with that knowledge. And then I got some of my animal spirit guides and things like that on the back side. So let's break it down. So this is the example, and we'll come back to it still a little bit. So let's go back. Ooh, I even felt a little bit like nervous sharing this, but this is great. Okay. So that was the example, and we'll be working on this together. So essentially, it's just a blueprint to put together all the knowledge we've been working on in the last sessions. Things like, well, that's exactly where I tell you what are the things that it's composed of. Okay, so I divide them into 2: mystical and earthly. I'll mention the mystical first, and then I'll mention the earthly, and then we'll work on the earthly today, so that it's more, grounded and more applied to life, and more, grounded in reality and in the applicability of it. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, please.
I'm so sorry. That was really loud.
Karime, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Should we be noting down the earthly concepts already on our sheets to start creating it, or should we just like pay attention now and then slowly flow into the creation of our own? What do you suggest?
No need to make any notes as of yet, because we'll go into each one of them one by one in just a second. So for now, I'll mention kind of the categories that there are, and then we'll work through them together. That's the purpose of this training, to work through them together. Okay, so the mystical ones are the following: places of power. Places of power. There are some places on Earth, maybe where you were born, maybe where you had some special moments, maybe where you had some awakenings or something. These are your places of power. So mentioning them, I feel, for me, has that effect that it reminds me of those places of power, that I have places that are places of power for me on Earth, and where I can go and recharge and have very special moments there. Then there are plants of power. Whether you work with plant medicine or not, there are specific plants that are usually we resonate with the most, psychoactive or not. Then there are spirit guides. Those could be teachers that are alive. Those could be ascended masters, animal spirits, fungi spirits, etc., etc. So the spirit guides that you really connect with, some people call it, angels, guardian angels, whatever name or school of thought you use, we are guided. We're all guided. And so naming those and having them in one place, I feel, has a very beautiful effect and power to feel that support. Ancestors, I didn't mention them here, but I guess they're part of lineages. So when I say lineages, it's both the ancestry and the spiritual lineages. So if you, and origins as well. So depending on the degree to which you connect your lineages and origins and ancestral lines, you put it there. You could put it there. Then next is objects of power. So crystals or seeds or particular patterns or anything that are your objects of power. You don't have to paste it here. Yeah, maybe I thought one idea could be, if you have a crystal and you can like detach a little piece from it and put it on that physical sheet of paper, that infuses the whole paper with your own personal power as well. Then there are particular colors or patterns. There's sacred geometry or symbols that you resonate with, maybe from your lineages or something. And then also mantras. In my case, I have two mantras, one at the bottom, one on top. So kind of like the heavenly and the earthly that I connect with. So those were the mystical ones. And we won't work through them today, but as you potentially create something like this or something of your liking or a digital document like that for you, even if it's just a list, then this can really be powerful and helpful. Oh, I want to show you maybe one more thing, which is so I have my notes, right? I have my journal, and I mentioned some of the spirit guides and on top of my Apple Note. So whenever I write in my note, I kind of feel that connection, feel that support as well. So that's another way to do it. So those were the mystical categories that you could use in your soul compass in one place. So that you have it all in one place, okay? Kind of like a totem type of thing. Okay, so that was the mystical. Now let's go to the earthly ones. And this is what we're going to be working through in this session. So quality of life, where we are right now in our quality of life, and what are the main goals that we currently have in front of ourselves. We'll start with that. Then there is a professional development, that map that we're going to look at that map that I showed you in training 3 on conscious entrepreneurship codes in month 1. So there we'll look at that rather quickly. Then we go into the people that matter. So our inner circle, who are the people in our inner circle, and who are the people that value or see me? Okay. We're gonna start making a list. We won't be able, to work through all of this at the level of detail that you probably would want to, but we'll get as far as we can get, and then we'll put it all together as well. Then tribe or tribes, including your professional tribe. So who is your tribe? Who do you truly connect with? Who do you feel like you are brothers and sisters with? You have a special connection and affinity for them. So who are those people? How would you describe them, right? So we'll work through that. Then your zone of genius. Most of you or all of you have already done the zone of genius work, or maybe you have even a more precise way to describe your top talents, your zone of genius. So we'll put that there as well. Then I will look at your missions, or if you don't connect with particularly a mission per se yet, then key interests or projects that are most dear to you. Then most aligned roles, which is a projection or a projection of the zone of genius onto the world of work and organizations. And then we'll put it all together into a unique selling proposition. And these are all the slides really I had for today. So now we're going to be working through it together. Do you have any questions as of right now, or shall we jump into it? Oh, and by the way, when we're done with that, we'll do an activation. So we'll do a meditative experience like last time, where we will connect with these things more viscerally, more at the bodily sensations level and at the frequency vibration level, rather than only conceptual. And the goal is obviously to bridge the conceptual and the essential. So anybody has any questions at this point, or shall we jump into it?
I just want to ask your guide protector to keep what you're sharing with us very close to you and protected. So you don't, I know you feel vulnerable, but may it all be secure you with all your heart that you poured into it, and stay protected. I don't know if I was clear.
Yeah, I think I understood. Yeah, great question. In fact, my idea was to go sharing my examples, like how I answer those questions, so that it can serve as an example. So I'm going to be sharing all of them.
Well, it wasn't a question. It was just like a prayer for you that your what you're sharing stays safe. That's what it was. Yeah, not really a question, just a prayer for you. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think it's important to see an example. It really helps with getting a better understanding of what we're doing. So anybody else has any question, or shall we continue? Okay, so I just pasted a link to the map of quality of life into the chat box. Please open that map of quality of life. I'll also open it right here on my screen, and let's do it together. So the first activity that we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at these. I think there are 8 aspects of life. It's not everything life consists of, but these are some pretty important ones: wealth, health, happiness, love, impact, growth, social ties, and home. So I invite you to choose your top 3 that you'd like to zoom into. And the way to pick them would be something that is really most pressing or most important or most calling for attention in your life, where you would really like to see improvements. So just pick 3 out of the 8: wealth, health, happiness, love and relationships, impact, growth. Impact is kind of the professional stuff, but we'll look at professional also separately. So impact is bigger than professional. It's like what you actually contribute with to life. Then growth, your own growth, and then social ties, and then home. So pick 3. Just do it intuitively. Maybe I'll be doing it with you so that I also know the timing better. Okay, so after you've selected the top 3, intuitively, I suggest that you go through the descriptions of the stages. They're quite self-explanatory. So as you read through them, you'll be able to see where you are. So identify which stage you're at on the 3. So just put a number, 2 or 7 or 1, 10, whatever it is. Okay, so now that you've done it, let's do a little more precision. So let's say that on love, you selected stage 5, right? For example. So then get more precise. So where are you? So let's say that you could be. We break it down into decimals. So you could be at 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and so on, 5.0, 5.1, 5. So if you selected stage 5, you're somewhere in between 4.5 and 5.5. by the logic of it. So put that more precise data into your sheet of paper. You would have to read the previous one and the next one to do that.
Sasha,
Yes?
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? The last part?
Sure, yeah. So we selected the 3 top ones that we want to zoom into and pay attention to. So for me, for example, wealth, love, and impact. Then we assessed them. We saw which stage we're at mostly. And then we want to become a little more precise. Instead of just saying stage 5, we want to say I am 5.2 or I'm 4.7. So kind of bringing the decimals into it. And so are you like exactly at stage 5? You just got there, or are you on your way to stage 6, or are you still finalizing stage 4 into stage 5? So where are you? So example would be 4.8 or 5.1.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to be super scientific about it. Just intuitive. Yes.
Sasha, you said pick 3 or pick 4? Because I'm getting happy over here.
3. You could do 4 as well if you're quick. Okay. So while we're finishing that, the next task is to set a goal. So in order to set a goal, you just look at the next stage or the next 2 stages or 3 stages, and you have to pick what would be your goal. What would be your goal? So a goal could be how the next stage sounds like, or how the next after the next sounds like, and also pick the time frame. When would you like to get there? In what time frame?
When you're saying pick a goal, you mean like, let's say in wealth, I'm at stage 2 and I'd like to be at stage 5. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. So you want to say it in what amount of time you set a goal to get there? Is it 3 months? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Is it 5 years? Okay. So we should be more or less getting there. And that was all that we wanted to do in terms of the quality of life. So do not close that tab if you can, because we'll come back to it in the activation piece. And I will paste the next link, the next map we'll be working with, professional development map. Okay. Okay, so the next link is in the chat box. So please go ahead and open that. And I will also share my screen. Yes. So don't get overwhelmed by this. Remember that we don't need to, this time we won't be reading through any of the text. We'll be looking at the upper stages. And just pay attention that there are employee stages, entrepreneur stages, founder stages, and then investor and mentor stages, right? And this is like a healthy progression professionally as we develop. Obviously, some people, become founders at 16. Some other people never work in a company, et cetera, all kind of cases there are. But the full cycle, the full developmental growth is when we work in an organization and start doing our own thing, start an organization, then we learn how to make money, make sales, and then we build an organization that is technologically advanced, impact driven, and scalable. And then we become investors and mentors after that. So the first prompt would be to identify whether currently you are at the employee stage, entrepreneur stage, founder stage, or investor mentor stage. That should be fairly simple. Unless somebody is really lost. Okay, so as you have done that, zoom in. And let's say that you are at the employee stage. So you would look if you are a dependent contributor, emerging self-starter, proactive problem solver, autonomous operator, or entrepreneurial leader, like an entrepreneur within the organization. And if you're unsure, you can read the descriptions just below that are in white on the black background. So just zoom in and see what stage you are at. Or if you are at the entrepreneur stage, then are you an aspiring entrepreneur that is just starting off? Or are you an emerging entrepreneur or a scaling entrepreneur, etc.? So just pick the stage where you think you're at. Should be also fairly simple for the most of us. Okay, so now our next prompt would be to set a goal. Just like we did before, set a goal. Do you want to move on to the next box? Or do you want to move on from employee to entrepreneur, from entrepreneur to founder, or founder to investor, whatever it is that is your goal? So pick a stage where you'd like to be, and also pick in what time frame. How long would you like to be there in? And it's helpful to read the description. So when you've picked, so let's say that, I don't know, you're a stage 4 autonomous operator, and your stage 5 is to become an entrepreneurial leader in your organization. So then make sure that you read the description of your goal.
I have a question, Sasha. If, for example, I'm an entrepreneur in stage 7, and obviously, like, I would love to be an investor and mentor, like ASAP, like, but go through all the stages. My question is more like, is it more feasible in terms of our own achievement of goals to go stage by stage as a goal, or to establish, let's say, from stage 4 to stage 10, the goal establish the goal on stage 10. I don't know. I'm a bit confused because stage 10 feels out of reach where I'm at the moment. And stage 8 seems the most feasible because I'm in stage 7. So how would you suggest we go about goal setting?
Yeah, I do think that it's good to set goals that are reachable, smart goals, right? Specific, achievable. To your question, the answer to your question is I would go with an achievable goal, something that your mind doesn't get scared, like, oh yeah, I would love that, but I have no idea how I would get there. Don't ask me. No, more like, okay, I'm right here, right now, and I'm pretty confident that I can actually get, I can level up one stage or two stages within 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So something that the mind would start to actually, find ways to do that. Okay. So once you're done with that, also don't close the tab. We'll come back to it just to remind ourselves what our goals were during the activation. And we will continue with the next one. So this was the warm-up. This was the warm-up. So let's go into the people that we care about and people that care about us. And we'll do three types of responses there. So number one is going to be our inner circle. So the prompt there, inner circle is self-explanatory, right? It's the people that our inner circle that we really could start a venture with, that we could call at night for something, that we could, ask for assistance with something, that we'd call when things are harsh. So who are those people? Let's do 3 to 5 people like that. Whoever first comes to your mind. And if all the slots are taken by your family, then do 2 or 3 people that are not family. Okay. So now let's enlarge that by, does anybody need more time, or we should continue? Okay. So let's enlarge that, expand that into people that value or see me. And the prompt is, who are those people that with certainty we can say that they really appreciate us, that they really see us for who we are today, not 20 years ago, but today. Who values me? Who sees me? And just keep it flowing. Maybe between 5 and 10 people, 3 to 10 people.
Sasha, a person can't be in both, like no inner circle people in the who sees you, right?
No. I mean, if they're in the inner circle, they probably value and see you. Just breathe and let the names pop up. Don't brute force it. Okay, let's take 30 seconds more. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to go into the tribes, And I'll give you an example of the tribes that I've identified for myself so that it's easier to understand. Yeah, so for me, there are four major ones. There are more, but there are four major ones, and it's kind of like a I'd love us to get to a professional angle to it right now. So kind of like guilds that you belong to, or professional associations is like an old school way to call it, right? We're looking at the professional tribe. So who are the people that when we speak together, we could like jam for hours on who does what and how we do it and what are latest findings and what are the books that we've read and the articles and this and that. So who are those people? And for me, one is visionary founders or visionary innovators, visionary founders, impact founders. Yeah, so that's one. Number two is teachers, I guess, mystics teachers or mystics educators, something like that. And then three is guides of ceremonies of cannabis. I can really jam with them. And then the number four is, well, yeah. I mean, one way to call it is like New Earth leaders or something like that. New Earth leaders. Yeah. So those are the four tribes that I really associate with and vibe with a lot. So what are yours? And you're probably already working on that. So let's take some time to write down those tribes. And as you think of that, if nothing is coming, then ask yourself, what kind of descriptions of myself or belonging to what groups or subcultures or yeah, like professional associations or something I most cherish, I most care about, I most feel I belong to, even though there may be some resistance, like, but do I? But who am I to? Even if it's there, still, who do you really vibe with? You don't have to write just one. You can just free flow write, and then you'll be able to rearrange that to summarize, synthesize that. So just free flow write. What are your professional tribes? Does anybody feel like sharing theirs, what they got?
I would.
Please.
So I got vocal activators, like people who activate through chanting, mantra, or just singing, activating others through their vocal.
Mhm.
Self-development pioneers, mystics or visionaries, and health and fitness masters.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share?
Sure. I have the psychedelic community. It's another community or tribe I belong to called the Condors. My spiritual family, that's the family I travel with when we doing ceremonies or rituals in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. And my business network, these are the people I work with and collaborate with in establishing my business surrounding veterans who suffer from PTSD. That's what I have.
Beautiful. Wow, so powerful. Thank you for sharing. Wow, that's amazing. It's beautiful. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to share mine. So I notice I have like um, sort of two clusters. In one cluster are the plant medicine guides, facilitators of heart opening work, and teachers or guides on healing and spiritual awakening. That's like one cluster. And then another cluster of my tribes is highly educated system changers, policymakers seeking to create humane systems. So very particular type of policymakers focused on kindness and humane systems. So yeah, those are like two clusters and then subcategories within them.
Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Okay. So let's move into our zone of genius. And the zone of genius can come in different ways how we articulate it, right? I think all of you have been to the zone of genius session where we did the test. And so the result of that was top 3 talents. And I wrote in my message yesterday that you could take the multiple intelligences test, and the purpose was to add another dimension to it, which is, all humans, we have multiple intelligences. There is mathematical, and there is spacious intelligence, and there is verbal intelligence, and there is logical intelligence, and there is a visionary or vision intelligence. There are many intelligences, and so each person has all of them, can express themselves in all of these intelligences. Cognitive, obviously, emotional as well, interpersonal, but we all have a different breakdown, or how to say it, like a distribution, or we're prone to some and less prone to others, just naturally, just like nature does it, right? And so this test allows us to see our distribution, to see what's our most prominent intelligence. And so that's a very interesting angle to complement the zone of genius knowledge, because so when some people, they're most prominent in bodily kinesthetic intelligence, then naturally the activities that involve that bring them much more satisfaction and greater results. And if somebody is more interpersonal, then they shouldn't probably work, in front of a computer all day. They should be engaging with other people, and simple things like that. So anyway, so we got the zone of genius, which is I was sharing with you guys that there are 3 ways how I put it for myself. One way is the top 3 talents, right? So in my case, I essentialize, I synthesize, and then I innovate. and then lead through innovation and vision. So that's my zone of genius, and pretty much like one sentence or even 3 words. And my most prominent intelligence is existential intelligence, or cosmic smarts, they also call it, which is asking the deep questions, going for the depth. And so that's a very beautiful description of my approximation of my zone of genius. And then there is another way how I do it, which is I have this formula of putting it into 3 words. 1 word is like what action I do as I show up as myself in my zone of genius. The second word of the 3 words of that second way to articulate zone of genius is what do I work with? Like what do I act on, right? And then the third word is the adjective, showing like where do I shift things? Where do I move things from A to B? So in my case, the activity that I do is activate. What I act on is potential, and then the adjective is dormant or latent. So I activate dormant potential in people, in systems, in organizations, in whatever teams. So as long as I activate dormant potential, I'm in my zone of genius and I'm having a great time. So that's another way to package the zone of genius, which is at the deeper level than we did in our zone of genius session. And then the third, even deeper way to do it is to put it into archetypes. So in my example, I have a few, but so here are the few ones that I mostly associate with. One is the visionary innovator, right? Like you see me basically, right? Like I see what's coming and I create new tools, projects, things like that. So visionary innovator is one. The other one is like a guide or a guide. I like the word guide, teacher, guide, leader, companion, that kind of energy. Then there is also polymath. I like that, like Renaissance man, polymath type of energy archetype as well. So those together very much describe me. You see where I'm going with that? So you've done the zone of genius test and assessment. So you've articulated that. So let's take some time to put your best current approximation of your zone of genius onto paper, and you can pull up what you had last time, or you can just put something that gets born in the moment, or whichever way you want to do it. So the task is to write down your zone of genius on your sheet of paper or digital paper if you're typing on a computer.
I'm a little lost. What are we doing exactly right now?
We are writing down our current understanding of our zone of genius. I'm in my zone of genius when I do X, Y, Z. Okay, and as you're finishing that, I just want to remind you that zone of genius by itself is also like a compass. So it's very useful. I find it very useful to check back with my zone of genius statement whenever I get an opportunity, whenever I'm finishing a task, or whenever I'm starting a new task, or whenever I think of other projects I could start. I think back to my zone of genius and I check back with it and I say, how much will I be in my zone of genius as I do that? Because the more we are in our zone of genius, the more fun we have, the more excitement we feel, the more natural it happens, the better the results, and the faster we grow in that. So by doing that in the last 5 years of my life, by mostly inhabiting my zone of genius, it's just mind-blowing and incredible how much I see my growth and in my mastery and my path of mastery. I do these things better and better and better every day, and the rate of growth is just such that I don't know, it's just propelling me towards the there's no limit. It's amazing. It's amazing how fast we grow when we actually show up in our zone of genius. So does anybody want to share theirs, what they've written?
That was the one sentence, right, Sasha? Because I'm in my zone of genius when I offer services that provide support, and I got emotional seeking depth. That's what you meant when we came back. That one phrase with the three,
That's right.
correct?
That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and community and of service and full satisfaction, which is really great. That all came
Beautiful.
back
Yeah.
very lovely, and it felt really exciting in my, you know, in my depth. So I knew this was it, and that is an amazing feeling. I hope everyone experiences in this container. And we
Beautiful. Thank you
amplify
so
it.
much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. And then those three together, the next question would be, what are they together? What kind of an archetype, what kind of a person does these things on repeat at all times? What is that? Is that a community builder? Is that a community nurturer? What would that be? Right? And you could also work with AI and ask it to give you like 10 archetypes that are most closest with that whole zone of genius, not just one piece of it, but the entire thing. So that has been also very helpful for me to get to even further clarity, because the more clarity, the more focus there is, the clearer it becomes what is ours to do and what is not so much. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share theirs?
I would like to share mine. I am in my zone of genius when I take leadership and provide emotional support, generosity, and motivation through positive energy while creating a safe, delicate, and beautiful space.
Wow. Wow, very precise. I love it. So beautiful. I definitely recognize you in all these things.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like to share mine.
Please.
So I love to create blueprints in the most deep way that lets you get from point A to point B in any project. Like I just love making like a path to perfect outcome. Yeah, that's my zone of genius. When I can do that all the time, just every day.
Wow. Yeah, and you're already showing up like that, right? In your everyday life. And so as you do that, the growth that we experience is just crazy fast, right? Because there's no limit. Like what if you could be, I don't know, among the top 0.001% of people in terms of the ability to create blueprints that take people on a path from A to B to a perfect outcome? What if you were, the world expert in that? And basically we're meant to be that.
Yes, yes, right. They're very beautiful.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
sure. Thank you. Anybody else, or shall we move on?
Okay. Uh, my zone of genius is when I bring in my creative power to produce processes and where I can tackle them vigorously. So I'm a visionary. I see it. So then I work with it. That's where my creative powers become productive. Then I work vigorously to put it together to bring it to fruition.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I invite you to further look deeper into it and ask yourself, like, when I say processes, what does that mean for me? What's a process for me? And also put it together to bring it to fruition. How do I put it together? What is putting together? What does it mean for me? How do I actually do it? And also fruition. What's fruition? What for me is a fruition of something? And then visionary as well. Like, what kind of a visionary? What particular aspect of the vision lights me up? Just some further pointers to get even more specific, which is already very specific.
Being a service to others, my project, my business that I'm creating is to bring wholeness to veterans who suffer from PTSD. That's my project. That's my vision, to give them alternative to traditional medicine by bringing to the forefront holistic healing, spiritual practice, and educational information on alternative medicine such as psilocybin, DMT, MDA.
Love it. Love it. Yes, I think you're already touching upon the next piece, which we're going into in just a second, which is the missions and projects and key interests. Does anybody else want to share theirs, or we're good and we're moving on to the mission?
I could share mine. It was really good, the prompt you just gave us to put it in the chat GPT. I just did it and it gave me the archetype of the radiant healer. And what I added about my zone of genius was I love channeling, meditating, sun gazing, doing womb clearing, dancing, releasing pressures from lower back, massages, going to the beach, listening to high frequency music. And I added like the holistic healing piece. So thank you so much. This has been really heart opening to get clarity on that. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I think we are again touching upon the next one. So let's jump into the next one, unless somebody has an urge to still share with the group. Okay, so missions. Yes, so let's define it in a way that is easy to understand without too much words that we don't even know what they mean. So when we say mission, yeah, we could just simplify it to say projects, but projects that are not just that we take up here and there, but projects that we feel like we're essentially dedicating our life to, that we could continue doing for the rest of our life. And not to say that like we must pick something and then it stays unchanged for the rest of our life, set in stone. No, we can add other missions. We can tweak the ones we have. We can also say no to things if we'd like to. But really, yeah, missions are those projects that we would be really working on for the rest of our life, because we feel that our calling is to do that. We're uniquely meant to be doing that. And so for me, there are four major things. And I like also to say that to break it down into into the essence, the project, like the interest. What is it that I'm working with? And then to say that I'm stewarding that, or I'm assisting that, or I'm facilitating that. So I'm facilitating something or stewarding something as I live my life. And the four things for me to serve as an example, not like the right answer or the final answer or anything, but just as a guide, as a guiding point, as an example. So for me, consciousness expansion is one of the things that I dedicate myself to. So I facilitate, steward, guide consciousness expansion. Number two is tools that activate potential. So I create or steward tools that activate potential. Then I'm very also dedicated to impact entrepreneurship. And so whatever way I can create impact through entrepreneurship, or assist others to create impact through entrepreneurship, all of that is definitely aligned, very much aligned with what I do and what I want to do and what I've always been doing. In fact, if I think, this is an interesting point, if I think back about my life, I would work at, in organizations, in I don't know, startup, whatever. But then it was always, at least on my mind, impact entrepreneurship and potential activating tools, like always, and consciousness expansion. I was always doing that. The question is how consciously, how intentionally, but always. When I look back into my life, my 20s, my early 20s, always been there, always. So this is the crazy thing about missions, is that they're really the threads that go through all of our life, whether we're aware of it or not. So it's kind of like awakening. It's closer than close. The present moment is always here. There is no distance between where we are right now and the present moment. And same thing here. Mission is like that. And Zone of Genius, by the way, same thing. So we're always have that zone of genius. It doesn't appear or come from anywhere. We don't develop it. We develop the skills, the competences, the talents, but the zone of genius is there. Same for mission. And so that was a little bit of a tangent, but important one. And so the fourth one for me is humanity's self-organization. So everything that has to do with humans self-organizing into cooperatives or sanghas or things like that. That's something that I also highly resonate with. And so life just brings people that also care about these four topics. Anyways, so that was a bit of a long example in my case, but I hope you got the energy that I'm trying to transmit here. So what are those? If you have your missions identified, then just write them down on your sheet of paper. If you don't have them as palpable and close to you, then what are the projects, the key interests that you have that really pull your attention? What really matters to you? What is it that you can't not be doing? Is the prompt. So write down your missions or projects on a sheet of paper.
I just want to make sure I'm getting the prompt right. It's what I cannot be doing.
The prompt is, you could approach it from different angles. One angle to look at it is, what are your life's calling, or the projects that you can't help working on? What do you keep being brought to in terms of topics of your interest or projects of your interest? Yeah, another way to look at it is, what's your mission here? Why are you here? To steward or facilitate or guide or assist what? Okay. So we don't have to get to the definitive answer right now. This is the beginning of this exercise. Everybody is where they are, and so we can only take the next step. Let's have one person share what they got, whoever really wants to go. We have time for one person.
Sure, I'll share my missions. My missions are to help people plug back into the love, to harmonize relationships with self and others so that people can be compassionate leaders, to place Santa Maria back on the altar of the sacred master plans, and to design and guide experiences for people to feel deeply and awaken their heart.
Thank you for sharing. So powerful. Wow. Thank you for being here on Earth and helping us all with this. Okay. Okay, so we got two more things to go, and let's maybe pick just one of them. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let's do both. Let's do both. We need to do both. This is kind of like a logical exercise, and hopefully we get some time for the activation still. We will. Hopefully there will be enough time for us to properly do it. Okay, so the next point is most aligned roles. And what do I mean by that? Well, that's basically your zone of genius projecting onto roles. Like if you were to look for a job, and if there were any kind of job available in the whole world, what would you do? What would you put into that box of LinkedIn or whatever? If you knew that it was gonna be found, and you would just wanted to find something most aligned for you. And I'll give you an example. In my case, I would type consciousness expansion coach. Who is looking for those? I would also type educator for founders or something like that. I would also type educator for mystics or something like that. And I would type systems architect. Like a global systems architect. I would type maybe conscious cannabis coach. Yeah, so those were the roles that I would type. Those were the examples, and you kind of probably already see how that's stemming from all the previous things that I gave you as examples. And so the question is, what would be the most aligned roles that you could play? If you could find any kind of gig, job, collaboration, start a company, what would your role be?
I just want to say that honestly, I wish people would pay for the roles I wrote for myself. Like, I wish there were like budgets in the world saying like, "Oh, we need a quantum heart surgeon. We're ready to pay for one." And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's me. Thank you." This role creation is amazing.
I love that.
Okay, so let's
Very
take 10 more
easy.
seconds to finalize the
Thank
last thing you're writing, and then we're gonna bring it all together. Okay, so here we are. We looked at, we warmed up with the quality of life and professional development mappings. Then we started to create these artifacts for ourselves. Who is in our inner circle? Who are the people that value or see us? What are our tribes, including our professional tribe? What is our zone of genius? What are our missions? What are our most aligned roles? And now we're bringing it all together into this formula that is known as the unique selling proposition. And the formula is very simple. It's basically, I help my ideal client to get X through XYZ. And the XYZ is how you do it, your methodologies, products, offerings, services, spiritual technologies, whatever it is. And your ideal client is the tribe, your most important tribe that you've identified. And how you do it is through your zone of genius, And so that's what we're doing now. Our prompt is to put together one sentence that says, and I'll give you my example, kind of reduced. And the point here is to now focus. So we won't be able to put everything that we've written together. So we gotta really focus and choose and prioritize here. Okay. And this is not, again, like the final result. You can always come back to this and redo this in whichever way you want. But let's just there's a lot of value that comes from, like really having a time limit and focusing and having to make a choice, make a pick. So let's do exactly that. And I'll give you an example. I help impact founders expand consciousness and optionally use cannabis consciously through 0 to through startup playbooks, through a system of acceleration of evolution. Yeah, something like that. I didn't have it pre-prepared, so I just put it together right in front of you. So it's not like mega polished, but you got the point. So please go ahead and create yours. I help my ideal client to get X through ABC. And your ideal client is you, your tribe, or you. Okay. So we're coming out of this exercise. You can always come back to it, of course. And let's have maybe 1, 2, 3 people read what they got, whoever wants to share. And I want to start. I got a little more clarity as well myself. So I help impact founders align their work with their zone of genius, accelerate growth, and get exponential startup growth through a startup playbook, a founder market fit formula, and a growth acceleration system. Yes. And anybody would like to share before we go into the activation? Okay, I assume people are working. You guys are still working through yours. We do have to go into the activation for maybe 10 minutes or so. You can always come back to this exercise and get more clarity. So please, yeah, take 30 seconds or so to finalize what you've been doing. And we're going to be doing a meditative experience, just like we did before. Yes, Vidi?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any way that we can work like one-on-one with you to get more clarity in this?
Why not? Of course.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I can see like I was just flowing and then we reach a point where I can feel some blockages. And I'm like, okay, I need to work on this. But it's good. It's good to see these blockages, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for saying this. For sure, stuff comes up. Some lack of clarity or some doubts, self-sabotage type of thing. It's completely normal, and we're going to the deep codes of conscious entrepreneurship, and so it's completely normal for these things to come up, and this is great because then we see them, right, which we didn't see before, and like, oh, I'm actually doubting myself in this or that way. Great. Because when we see that, then we can work with it and we can transcend that over time. So definitely. And yeah, just ping me on Telegram and we see how we can get through this together towards more clarity and focus. And yeah, I mean, we can only do this much in an hour and a half, right? Like we're bringing together the stuff that we have been looking at for 2 months already. So okay.
I just wanna add a comment here, and I think this may resonate with the rest of the group, with some of us maybe. I will want you to avoid being generic when you get down to these things, because we tend to be generic. Like, I like to help people. Like I said, I like to help people. Which people? That are going through what? In which context, right? What is their life context? Who are they? Or connect to their heart. But what does that mean? Like, how do I do it? What exactly do I do? So it's just an invitation, because I've been working with Sasha as my personal coach for 10 plus years, and so I just tend to be really generic, and he grinds me like, be more specific, and I'm like, no. And it's so challenging to be more specific, exactly because of the barriers, the sabotage, the beliefs, the whatever. But I invite you all, if you continue doing this exercise, to get as specific, like to grind yourself in the most loving way, to get specific.
Yes, for sure. It's an exercise of getting towards more and more specificity. Thank you, Kari. Okay. So let's take about 10 minutes or so to feel into all of these things that we have been scraping within ourselves, looking for that clarity and for that focus when we can finally ignite that fire and assist who we are here to assist. And so just reminding you that we're going to be doing this a round or two of this breath that we did last time to open up to the deeper layers of our understanding of all these things, of why we're here and our mission and our purpose and who we're here to serve, etc., etc. So it looks and sounds, the breath, I'm going to show it to you in a second. The breath looks and sounds like this. We breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth as well. And it goes like this. So it's as if I'm producing sounds E, A, U, but I'm actually not producing the sounds. I'm just, my mouth takes that shape. So breathing in into the belly. Let's do it together for just one round. That's it. Don't worry about it. Your body will pick it up. So, yes. So take a position that with your back straight up on your chair. Yes. So sit comfortably in your chair with your back straight and gently close down your eyes. Find the contact of your feet with the ground or with the floor. Your butt sitting on the chair, your back straight up, and start taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking a very deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, releasing, melting into the space. Taking another deep breath in, breathing in that presence, that light, and breathing out, relaxing your body with each out breath. And just keep breathing like that, deep breaths in through the nose, inviting all that air into your lungs, into your breathing system. Breathing in all that life energy, feeding, nourishing you. Visualizing golden light coming upon you. And breathing out, relaxing, feeling strong magnetic pull from the earth, from the center of the earth, magnetizing you. And breathing in this center of your heart between the two poles. Keep breathing like this. Breathing in alertness, a wakefulness, light, electrifying sensation of the connection with the all. And breathing out and having that golden light rain on you like a fountain. Relaxing your face, bringing a gentle smile on your face. And keep breathing, expanding your lungs out. And let's start our 3-part breath. We're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. Deep breaths into the belly, chest, neck, and head, out through the mouth. Filling yourself up with air. Relaxing at the out breath. You're doing great. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing. A few more breaths. And on your next in-breath, take a deep breath in through the nose. And hold it at the top, relaxing into whatever you're feeling. Hold it, and release through the mouth. Slowly returning to your normal breathing. And we're gonna do some more 3-part breaths like that, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Deep into your belly. Some more. On your next one, take a deep breath in through the mouth. Hold it there. Tense your fists, tense your forearms, tense your arms, tense your torso, your legs, tense your whole body. Whenever you need to release the air, release the tension. Relax into the opening, relax into whatever you're feeling. Allow yourself to receive. Bring up your goals on your quality of life, those areas where you would like to advance, and what goal you have for yourself. And breathe in those qualities, those inner states that you're calling in into your life. whatever it is, wealth, health, love, friendships, hope, social ties, impact, growth. As you breathe in, just allow to call in that's what you're aiming for. Just allow it in, breathe it all in. Joy. You are that and so much more. Feeling yourself grounded, connected, and balanced between the two poles. And now visualize that professional goal of yours. What are you shifting into? What version of you are you calling in? Allow yourself to bathe in those vibrations, in those inner states, in those qualities you're calling in for your professional life. Now bring your attention to all the people that inhabit your reality, your life, your inner circle, your closest ones. Feel their support. Feel the support of the people who see you, who value, who appreciate you, who are there for you. Your team. Now feel yourself connected and grounded and supported by your tribes. Feel the nourishment of belonging. Feel the excitement of the intellectual expansion and exchange of ideas. Allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Enjoy it, notice where you feel it in the body, in your energetic system. Relax your face. If you notice any tension, a gentle smile, enjoy it. Now shift your attention and focus onto your zone of genius. Visualize it as your essence, as the tiniest prism at the center of your heart, in the deepest depths of your being, shining light. Onto your world. your unique, authentic way. Keep breathing consciously and allow whatever sensations, whatever images come to go, to be. Feel yourself, fill yourself up with those beautiful sensations, inner states, and qualities that you are. And now feel into your mission. What are you here to do? What have you been doing all along? Feel how you're held by life, how you're guided by the Great Spirit. Guided by the synchronicities, by the signs, by the unlikely acquaintances. Feel how your heart guides you as you walk your path. Let it shine, let it show the way, like a lighthouse through the fog, beaming with immense power. Taking you places. Introducing you to people. Filling you up with excitement as you walk your path. Now let's bring it all together. Bringing together the people you are to serve. What you are to steward. And how your very own life creates the tools to do that. Taking a few deep last conscious breaths within this meditation. Gently coming back into your body, feeling the air around you, the room you're in, your seat, your feet, and how they touch the floor or the ground. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and take a minute or two to write down whatever insights you received. Okay, dears. We just finished the activation, and congratulations with finishing this training 3. Very hands-on, as I said. And this is the end of the training on the Soul's Compass. Thank you so much for being here. And let's take a few minutes if anybody wants to share some of the insights they received or anything you wish to share with the group.
Like, wow, that was amazing. It was just so fun. Oh, like, big takeaway, my inner child is just glowing. I'm just like cheesing. So you can see it. Cheese. I'm just cheesing away. So as always, I need to process, but thank you. And that's the way to go, right? It's just, oh, mind blown.
I, I would like to also say this has been like so good. Like my top 2 favorites because you allowed us the space to like digest. It was like you were feeding the bread. And I love when that brain part gets connected to the physicality, and the nuggets were like the things that keeps us so stuck in the story, and and the way you just broke it down, it's just so digestible. I got a bunch of nuggets like story architect, strategic planner. It just like made me see how like I can be a mind designer, like, and this space right there was like so good. Like I'm going into your mind and redesigning, like it just created so much more space to play. And I feel like the way you just did this class, it is opening me up to wanting to create more from a ease, flow, play spot, and is answering questions that I've been like so dense and like, oh, I don't know exactly who I'm serving and blah blah blah. And then the prompts put it into AI in my own words, which is not how I wanted. And then AI is like delivering it. And I'll just share what my nugget was, which was I help impact driven mothers to step into their Christ consciousness awareness by guiding them to rewrite their inner narrative, rebrand their minds, and reorganize their thoughts and emotions so they can embody peace, purpose, and divine alignment in their daily lives. And this is like, oh, my heart feels like it's singing, Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Wow. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you, Sasha, for allowing us the space and the guidance to play with this and to land it for each one of us. It's so cool every time it goes deeper. And I want to share that I received an insight during the meditation, during the activation. That is, I work with a lot of clients and I see how people can be so self-obsessed, and I can see myself as well, obsessed with myself very often. And when we're doing this work, I'm like, I notice we're honing into ourselves like very deeply, right? But it's from a place of service, which makes it very different. It's not wanting to know ourselves just for obsession and out of compulsiveness. It's really to put ourselves in service in the best, most easy, most organic way in life. And in the activation, I received this very clear insight that this work is not just for the sake of knowing ourselves and articulating ourselves so beautifully in network events or finding or nailing jobs or paid opportunities. This work is for us to be ever more aligned with the vibration of who we came to be and how we came to serve. And that's what makes it so valuable for me. It's not so much about me knowing more and more and more and more. Karime, 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 Karime. I have enough of Karime. It's more like, who is Karime in this world and how is she to serve? So thank you for this. This was very beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, what a beautiful share. Thank you. Yeah, I feel it's both. It's that depth of who we are here and how we show up, and also the practicality of it, the jobs and the networking events and all of that, because it's one. They're not two. It's one at its deeper layers.
Hi, so this is Shatiqua. Basira is my Sufi name. I keep forgetting to switch it. Like I get on a lot of Zoom, but I'm here. And the last thing that I heard before you told us to open our eyes was I was in a conversation with the Mycelium Network. And I'm not a plant medicine user yet. I used to smoke marijuana and cannabis when I was much younger, and I haven't in many years. But I've been taking a course on learning more about the Mycelium Network before I engage um, mushrooms. I'm on my way. I'm on my journey to that. But I'm already tapped in. Like there's such a deep connection with the Mycelium Network, and that activation took me right to her, and we had a conversation. I thank you so much. This is profound. This is very profound and
Wow.
groundbreaking. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Wow. Incredible experience. What an incredible experience. Wow. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yes, hello. The prompt that you helped word for personal growth in this call was so it's how you help. It's just like going through the turns of life. Like you can like just like one of the biggest blueprints and pillars to growing, and like I'm growing, and to have a prompt like this to like put into ChatGPT, I have to word it. And when I send it, and I know what with whatever I get, it's gonna be like one of the most next generation knowledge help with like helping me coerce and move through all the years and all the knowledge that I need to absorb. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you. prompt that we worded this call.
Thank you so much, Ophil. Yes.
Hi, everyone. I want to share that for me, it was very, very deep. It was an amazing trip because I feel like I'm stuck in my entrepreneurship and my professional way, and now I can see like where and why, because I was like in the flow, I was flowing with the exercise, and then when we got to mission, like roles and all stuff, I like completely was in blank. So I was like, what's going on there? So in the meditation, I realized that I've been seeing myself, or these that Karime was sharing, that sometimes it's like me, and I feel like I've been avoiding to see me. Like I want to create this avatar or this person that I want people to see, but not the real me. So in the meditation, it was very clear, the message, and it was for others to see you. You have to see yourself first. And it was very deep for me because I've been seeing it from the shadow side instead of the light side, because it was like, I don't want to focus on me, who I am, like we are in this society that, I don't know, for me, it was that I don't want to be this narcissist person that is always thinking about me. So instead of that, I was like, how can others see me the way that I want to be seen, the way that I want to project? And that is not the real me, It was just an avatar that I'm creating. So yeah, it was very, very, very powerful for me. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sasha, because I just gained like a lot of insights and clarity where what I have to do so people can, like, I can help people from my heart, not from my ego. So thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Edie. Thank you. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that it's the shortest path, the path of authenticity and the heart, and the rest is can also give results, but the rest by definition is a longer path, is a path of wobbliness, coming back to that center. That's where we're all going, in my view. And so I feel that it's amazing that you got more clarity. It's something to celebrate.
Well, I thank you for another remarkable journey, another eye opener, more revelation. As we was doing the activation, my journey is there, but it's taking me other places. It wants me to get outside of myself and be more focused, not so much just on veterans, but on people as a whole, because everybody needs this, what I'm trying to do. And it's just telling me to take off more layers and to get to the core of it. People need what I'm bringing to the forefront. And it's just not for a self-containment of a selected few. It's for the majority of all of us. And that's what I was seeing through my vision. And they was keep telling me, you there, but you need to go a little further. You need to disseminate the information and just trust in the universe, because the answers will be revealed to me. So thank you for that activation. It's giving me more and more clarity on what it is I need to do besides helping the veterans. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's very profound.
So much, Anwar. Yeah, it sounds like clarity is what many of us obtained, which is amazing. It's a precious medicine, clarity. Mm.
Indeed.
Okay, anybody else wants to share anything? Oyi, Chaz, Gabi? If not, we're gonna be, you don't have to. If not, we're gonna be closing.
I do want to say thank you. I appreciate what you've taken the time to organize and share with us. This is extremely powerful technology, and I'm really excited to dive deeper into it. Very excited to watch the replay of this session. I was a bit late, and we were already in the thick of it when I jumped in about 40 minutes or so in. But yes, this one I could tell was extremely potent. So thank you again.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, the first 40 minutes was fun as well. Yeah, I shared like how this came about, and we did the quality of life goal setting and things like that. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, again, for taking in this powerful technology, as Chaz said. And I'll see you next Saturday. Yeah, let's keep chatting and keep jamming. Next week, I'm sure it will be something also remarkable, as all of these have been, at least for me. Okay.
Thank you so much. Take care.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
thank you, thank you.